Hello and welcome to Prehistoric Relations. This is a visual novel that's about prehistoric creatures having relations, I guess. um, I played it a little bit, and you play as I forgot the scientific name, so it's basically a prehistoric crocodile, and you basically, I guess, are making friends and looking for a boyfriend, I guess. Actually, no, that's too simplistic. But yeah, you're kind of not you're checking out pretty much everyone you meet, so yeah. But anyways, I wouldn't call it a dating sim, but it's kind of going there. So yeah. I know a lot of you people like dating simulators. I personally don't, but this has dinosaurs, so I like dinosaurs. So yeah. Even have a dino sona, a Utah raptor. But anyways, so yeah, let's begin. See, it contains mature stuff. All you minors, go away. Still, it applies. Go away, minors. I can hear the sounds of waves crashing in the background and the roaring winds of the north. The birds are chirping bright and early, and I take in a long breath of that foreign air. I made it at last. I open my eyes wide, finally awake. 9 hours. I've been at this bus ride for 9 grueling hours. Traveling from the southern part of the state all the way to the north end, I've seen basically all the different sceneries the state has to offer. I've made it. The town of Ocean View is a vibrant and small beach town. The sun shines down constantly, the local birds chirp loudly within the vibrant lush the city is covered in. It feels so much more alive than the urban hell I've grown up in. I pass by the town's local boardwalk and beach, the magnificent cliff sides along the beach, and finally, Main Street, where all the shops and local goodies are located. Finally, I reach the bus station at the heart of Main Street. Welcome to Ocean View. Many of you here are about to start a brand new journey. Take in the fresh, salty ocean breeze and relax. Enjoy yourselves, don't stress out, and have an amazing school year. What an introduction. Well, no matter. The next chapter of my life starts now, whether I'm ready or not. The sun almost blinds me as my first steps are greeted with the chatter of the other students that rode along with me. Everyone's taller than me, and then again, most of them are animals. Booyah! Another year and more fresh meat! The piercing shriek of a velociraptor shakes me to my core. I grab my bags and walk down the street, away from their obnoxious voice. I have an unwavering feeling he won't fade into the crowd in school. Of course I crash into someone almost immediately. I tumble to the floor, dropping one of my bags. Everyone in the crowd turns their heads at me and the poor fellow, my face rushing with blood as I can't hide my embarrassment. A hand reaches out above me. I'm so sorry. I can be such a klutz. This giant shark that's almost twice my size is speaking to me, but much to my surprise, his voice is soft and warm. He helps me pick up my luggage and my personal belongings that fell on the floor, and with that, he waves a goodbye and scurries off. I didn't get his name. The velociraptor continues to hark and hark, coming closer and closer. My panic became visible. Why did that shark just leave? He could have gotten me away from this. Well, well, who do we have here now? His eyes seem to pierce through my soul, his pupils like daggers. I stand tall, even though he's a few inches shorter. I can take him down if I want to. I'm not looking for trouble here. He continues to stare me down. All the noise and mumbling from the crowd fade to a low static, as if we were the only people for miles. My heart pounds in my ribcage, and I'm certain he can hear it loud and clear. His breaths push from his mouth harder and harder, audibly only to me. He flashes his teeth at me, his lips curling into a self-satisfied smirk. Alright, freshie, I'm feeling charitable. This school might be big, but my presence is even bigger. I will see you again, friend. He goes back to his posse, all of them huddling around him, gossiping and glorifying him. I quickly see myself down the street, going anywhere other than here. I stand before Fossil University, the institution that boasts the best professors in the nation. Many of the greatest scientists and authors in the country have studied here, all of them renowned for their historical discoveries, hence why the university prides itself on its history department. But I am still undecided. My high school teacher is an alumni from here, and hearing all the great experiences he's had, I wanted to follow in his footsteps. He was my mentor and guide throughout the hell that was high school. I worked, cried, bled for this. I cannot blow this. The university sits comfortably on a giant hill, overlooking the small beach town. The drive up was such a sight. The town looks small from that high. You can see all the neighborhoods next to the city, as well as another base city off in the horizon, many miles away. I stop outside the dorm that I'm staying at, right at the heart of the university. I notice that the gym is down the street, as well as the university plaza, the university pool, and a giant field that overlooks the vast ocean. I check in at the ID service office. A long line, but finally I'm up. I receive my ID and check its accuracy. I'm gonna go with the default. I am a he. Although I suppose I could be a they. I am not 5'8", I am actually 6'1". And I am a Dinosuchus. Everything looks correct. The worker gives me a key to the building and room, and I head to my building, but the thought of living with another being finally hits me. Tafu Karcharodon. That's all I know of them. The school directory gives everyone the names of who they'd be dorming with. I could have contacted him, but I ended up forgetting. Ugh, the thought of the Veloso douchebag fills my mind. What if he's my roommate? I think through my odds, being one in how many students are enrolled here? That much, but then again, he seemed to have a whole posse with him. I could be rooming with someone in his circle. Can I trust this guy? Stop it, Sam. Don't be so negative. I have to be truly unlucky for that to happen. I gotta trust in my roommate. We'll be living together for a whole year after all. The university paired us at random, albeit through my own choice. I want my experience to be a sucker punch. And what better way to express it with getting through your college experience with someone in the same boat as I am. I climb 3 stories of my building to reach my room. No elevator, just stone stairs. I am living in the oldest college of the university. All the other colleges are more modern and have modern amenities as well. But it's not an issue. The aesthetic speaks to me. Finally, I stand outside my room door. I'm suddenly flooded with emotions. I reach for my key and watch it shake and tousle in my hand. A bit of sweat drips from my forehead. A voice in the back of my head screams not to open it. This is it. I really hope they're chill. I should have brought a fresh press. Who doesn't like coffee? Well, not me, but it's the thought that counts, right? My thoughts bleed into each other. The door swooshes open. My face pales up to the sudden surprise, my hand holding my key still, centimeters from where the keyhole was, now just floating in the air. I'm frozen in shock. Hey, you're the Dinosuchus from before! His soft voice suddenly became loud with excitement at my familiar face. Thank goodness, it's not the raptor from earlier. Tafu? My shock is still visible from my face. Of all the people, I'm glad it's this soft-spoken shark. Well, sort of soft-spoken. Well, stop diddle-daddling in the hallway now. Come, come! He yanks me in our new room. The room is a bit of a mess, albeit we both arrived only 10 minutes from each other. I swear, I'm not a messy Don. Don? What's that? Short for Megalodon. Couldn't you tell? I take a look at his giant figure. Figuring him out was the last of my worries when he's that massive. Honestly, I thought you're just a good old shark, you know? Haha, well, I wouldn't have thought you'd be the type to generalize now. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. After all, I'd say I'm easy to identify. But don't go generalizing everyone now. People can be really nasty about it. I'm still just staring at him, but I break my silence and owe him a proper introduction. How rude of me. I'm Sam. It's good to meet your acquaintance. He excitedly grabs my hand and starts shaking it up and down with both of his hands. Well, I'm Tafu, and I'm so excited to have you as a roommate. We're going to have so much fun together. I can't wait to have study sessions together and pull all-nighters and drink lots of coffee and talk about love interests and... The Don kept on going and going, but it was really cute to see him this excited, and I, for one, share the same feelings. It's just the two of us in this dorm room, and I feel comfortable with him around. Usually anthro sharks aren't polite at all, but it's nice to meet someone like him. Sorry about the whole situation earlier. That velociraptor is bad news. His name is Vince. You should stay away from him and his posse. Believe me, he walked right up to me and stared me down, but I wasn't going to let him have it, so I stared back at him with that same energy. You stood up to him? Be careful, Sam. He seems the type to not forget a face. Well, we wouldn't want to miss orientation. It'll be such a great opportunity to get to know the students living in our college. What are we waiting for? Our room can wait. He grabs me with such force, and we head to the college auditorium. Me, a grown adult, being dragged by the hand by this gigantic force of nature, really has me swooning, and I don't hate it. We see all sorts of students and professors head to the auditorium, and this isn't even everyone from the university. The walk to the auditorium was quite the experience. My shoes barely kicked up any dust clouds from the neatly kept dirt roads all along the hills of the campus. The large quarry and open field overlooked the ocean side. And to my surprise, deer and turkey were trotting around with us. Whoa, look at them! I couldn't help but be excited, like a cute high schooler at their sight. Oh yeah, these rascals are all around the campus. Best not to disturb the turkeys though, they're especially wild, even more so Henry. Henry? Who's that? You don't know about Henry? He's the male turkey that's notorious for chasing other students passing by, on their bikes, in their cars. That turkey cares not who you are. He will chase you down just to prove. Well, I don't really know. I'm not a turkey, but nonetheless, you'll know when you... There's a distant scream, and you can see a figure running away from a turkey. It's slightly bigger from the rest of the pack. Well, speak of the devil, there he is. And don't worry about Henry. He's all talk. He just loves to punk passerbys. He's just as much a resident to our college as you and I, after all. We finally arrived at the auditorium, and everyone huddled up in the frenzy. The day started to heat up, and it was getting warmer. Tafu is right beside me, and I look at him. He's looking every which way as if scanning the crowd. Hey now, are you feeling okay? Oh yeah, there were just so many people cramped up in here, that's all. I rest my hand on his arm with a reassuring grip. Hey, I don't know anyone here either, but you always have a friend with you. We're roommates after all. The Don gives me a warm smile in return. You're absolutely right, and we're going to make the most of it. We were all split into groups, and luckily Tafu and I were together the entire time. We played a bunch of team building exercises and icebreakers. We were there for a few hours, and we could see the sunset. Finally, we were let go. I can see Tafu's face is exhausted from all the talking to the other students. Hey, listen, I passed by this local coffee shop when I arrived here downtown. Let's go? Geez, Sam, you really know how to treat a friend right. His face blushes and he puts his hands on his cheeks, pretending to hide his aloofness. Damn, if he's doing this on purpose, it's working. We make our way downtown and we pass by the asphalt, where we bumped into each other earlier. We both look at each other, and we both smile and laugh. I'm embarrassed about what happened, but at the same time, I can't help but laugh. I feel bad for leaving you so abruptly. I should have offered you a drink then and there. Don't beat yourself up about it. I give out a soft chuckle. I'm glad it happened. We have this fond memory of us, and I'm holding it close and running away with it. Tafu doesn't hide his blushing anymore. His face was completely red, but not from embarrassment. A giant smile stretches across his face, and it warms my heart. I start to blush as well. He's so cute when he's flustered. Being on Main Street, we pass by lots of shops, mostly tourist attractions and restaurants. We see a few big coffee chains here and there, but then we see it. The smell of a fresh roast coffee combined with the warmth of tea and the fresh bakery items. We both gravitate towards this local shop, hidden away along the road. Conchas, coffee, and Chisme. We both look at each other and give a reassuring nod. We walk into the shop and are stunned into silence at how cute it was. It was adorned with many gorgeous foreign decorations and smelled of fresh cocoa. Tafu's eyes sparkle at the marvel, and he immediately goes to look at the menu, starstruck at all the different flavor options. The barista behind the counter catches my attention. This burly saber-toothed tiger with bright yellow fur, a pout so shiny and luscious, and he looks my way, locking eyes for a quick second. His poker face is strong and unnerved, and I can feel his gaze stab me in the forehead. Eee! He saw me staring, but I shrug it off as Tafu calls my name. Look at all these drinks! There's this rice milk with cinnamon, cocoa mixed with oatmeals, and all these refreshers! They got hibiscus and lavender and cactus in. And in that instant, those piercing eyes turn into a warm gaze, and his smile brightens up, wide across his face, and he speaks up to us. Welcome to my humble shop. How can I help you two lovebirds today? I let out a little shriek. The saber chuckles softly, his voice deep, but oddly soothing, and his ethnic accent wasn't helping my current state of blushing. His laugh, though, sounded a little bit sinister. Tafu's neck took on the same sort of red his face couldn't hold. Lovebirds? Ah! Tafu was at a loss for words, and in a shock the saber said something so raw yet so unprovoked, but thinking about a reality where that was true sounded really nice. But he's still looking at him, with this devilish smile about him. He's not breaking his character, nor his smile. Why am I feeling so attracted to this feeling of being stared down by him? Well, this was a nice experience and all, but I'm sure we're holding up the line. There's no one else in line. Tafu did the quickest 180, and much to his fear, we were indeed the only people at the shop at the moment. The saber, unfazed, grabbed a cup and started writing on it, looking up at Tafu, then back down. Well, I'm sure you're closing up shop and we don't want to be those kinds of people. The cafe doesn't close for another 2 hours. Well, what a lovely interaction. Say, Sam, why don't I find a table and you order something for the both of us? And just like that, Tafu scurried off to the corner of the store, sitting down on a sofa there, giving me a nervous wave. The feline gives me a dead stare, waiting for me to order something. I look down at his name tag. His name is Sebastian. I try to be friendly, even though his stare is making me melt and his huge figure makes me want to hold him tight. He keeps staring at me, and I blurt the first thing that I can think of. Does Jamaica count as ice blended drink? 'Cause I don't like coffee. An ice blended drink if you have He stops me mid-sentence, his face very bothered. You disrespect me and my establishment. We serve quality roasts and coffee. If you want sugar milk, go down to the street to Pawbuck's. We don't do that type of nonsense here. He kept his smile, his eyes closed, and his head tilts after I ask for the ice-blended drink. Let me get your name, Chulo. His voice gets to me again, and my heart skips a beat. Handsome? Why? He looks up at me from the cup, and there's a silence in the air. He keeps on writing on the cups, not breaking eye contact. Then, with a soft voice and a smile, he says, Please make yourself comfortable anywhere in the shop. I'll sort out your order in a minute. Thank you very much. I scurry back to Tafu as he stares off into the room, admiring all the decorations. As fast as I can see, more and more people start to enter the cafe, quickly filling up the rest of the shop. Tafu quickly turns his attention to me. Hey Sam, everything alright? You were there a while. Tafu looks at me with the soft eyes. Looking at him makes me feel warm. Do I tell him of my crush on Sebastian? Are my feelings misplaced? Yeah, I was just overwhelmed by the menu is all. So many choices, I felt so overwhelmed. There was the lavender latte, or maybe the hot cocoa, or the... I have 2 drinks for an, handsome. You sure nothing happened out there? You hush! I get up from our corner and head to the counter where the drinks handout is. Everyone looks at me and whispers and chuckles, and my cheeks light up. I reach out to the counter and see 2 ice-blended drinks with the name Handsome on them. I thought you didn't make blended drinks, Sebastian. The saber doesn't look up, clearly focused on making the numerous drinks he has queued up. That's right, I don't, and I clearly said. And I can't make him out. He's friendly with a smile almost a minute ago, now he seems distant. I start to think about him. I'm so lost in thought that I can't process his question at all, and I blurted out the first thing that I was thinking of. You're hot! I'm sorry? This coffee sure is hot! They're blended drinks, they're anything but hot. I felt like the floor could swallow me at any moment, and I would thank it. Well, are you going to stand there, or are you going to take your drinks? Did you go out of your way to make these for us? If you're not going to take your drinks, I'm more than happy to dump them in the sink behind me. What a savage. I guess I have to take these, handsome. Is not even my name. Sam. Sam is my name. Well then, Sam, don't make me repeat myself now, Chico. Not only is he sweet, but he's got my nerves. Now don't be telling people about this. I don't need everyone in town asking me to make these drinks. As far as we know, you didn't get them from here, entendido? His accent and Spanish catches me off guard, and he picks up on my rosy cheeks. Heh. Now go back to your novio. I don't want him catching any wrong ideas now. And Tafu is not even my boyfriend. Yet. Or maybe Sebastian will. And thinking too much about this, I just want to relax. I head back to Tafu and I hand him one of the blended delights that Sebastian made for us. Ooh, I didn't realize that they had these here. I could have sworn the menu had nothing about these blended drinks. How did you get them? Well, if I'm being honest, I don't really know myself. He just made them for us, unprovoked. Sounds like someone has a secret admirer. That's not what's going on. I don't seem to notice that I'm yelling, but everyone gazes at me. I should stop talking now. You're so silly, Sam. Dorming with you is gonna be... The door slams wide open, and the wind chimes near it almost clang off the walls. A familiar figure walks in. His small stature and orange scales stand him out from the rest of the crowd. Following a large dinosaur that's almost as big as a T-Rex, I think. I gotta hide. Look, dummy, it's the little gator I told you about this morning. Too late. They walk towards our side of the cafe, going through and pushing aside people and tables that are occupied. Well, that tall dino is. Vince is even less than half his size. It's comical thinking about it, and the thought of it leaves a smirk on my face. What's so funny, punk? It could joke about its height. I look down on Vince, almost laughing out on his attempt to intimidate me. Whoa, let's not lose our cool. Why don't we find your parents? I'm sure they're worried sick about you. Everyone in the cafe laughs, and you catch a glimpse of Sebastian looking your way, laughing with everyone, giving you a little wink. Vince roughly grabs me by the shirt, pulling me close. He might be short, but he definitely was full of malice. Suddenly a figure comes behind Vince. He was a monster compared to Vince. He's not as tall as Vince's friend, but definitely bigger. I know I shouldn't be thinking this, but this T-Rex really has the face of an angel. I can't help but butt in here, son, because it seems like you can't be helped. The giant T-Rex puts his hand on Vince's shoulder, and Vince lets go of me only to turn towards the Rex. Listen, old man, you better stay out of my way. Or what, son? Snap. Rakai! The giant lizard seems to be in his own little world, trying to order a coffee from Sebastian. But boss, let's get out of here. You don't know you're messing with right now. You're biting off more than you can chew right now. Trust me on this. And without a second thought, the giant lizard grabs Vince like a paperweight, and they both bolt out of the shop. Without realizing, he crashed himself through the glass and broke the door. Vas a pagar, imbéciles! I know where you go to school, brutos! The T-Rex still stands there, saying nothing. Hey Sam, are you alright? Ah! No, I was afraid. I don't really know how to deal with people like that. Never met someone so intense before. Tafa brings me in for a hug. At least nothing bad came upon you. I'm sorry, I froze up myself. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't move. Hey, I'm not your responsibility. I know, we just met. But I really care about you. The Dawn whispered. What was that? I said the ice in my coffee is melting. I have to finish it before it becomes tasteless. But we didn't get iced coffee. Shh, you talk too much. Well, we should thank our savior now. As Tafu turns, the Rex is gone, out of sight. He must have left in our moment together. I wonder who that handsome stranger is. Hey, pinches mendigos. Pero, are you okay there, Sam? His accent while saying my name makes my heart flutter a bit, and I'm caught off guard again. Yes, thanks for the... He hands me a broom. Great. Now if you can clean up the mess your friends made, I'd appreciate it. Well, hey now, they weren't... He looks me in the eyes and gives me a quick wink. My heart melts. Well, his door did get smashed, and he did make me something off the menu. No, that's just my crush on him mostly. I reluctantly get to cleaning up the broken glass, while the barista looks on, chuckling to himself, like I couldn't hear him. We head back to our dorms, still a mess, but now without the sense of dread I had when I didn't know Tafu. And at last, our rooms are sorted out. He's got a huge collection of books he's brought from home. Other than that, just his essentials, but I'm not one to talk. I don't have very much to my name either, just my clothes and my computer. Tomorrow I have a few classes. Thankfully, Tafu is in some with me. I'm nervous, but a bit excited. Next day. It's 7 a.m. and class doesn't start for another hour. Tafu's wide awake and dressed. There's a sparkle in his eyes. He's excited. What a feeling of bliss he exudes, but I can't seem to feel the same. Hey, you're awake! Get up and get dressed, silly. If we leave now, we can grab something quick to eat at the mess hall, and that'll leave us time to... Tafu went on, and I'm still dazed at the fact that it's so early. Well, quit lazying around, and let's get to it. Tafu? His giant arms wrap around me, and he swings me out of bed, him holding me with his massive arms. His strength, it's quite nice. I wish it would never end. He sets me down, and I quickly dress and prepare my materials, swing by the mess hall for a quick breakfast, leaving us with 20 minutes to get to the other side of campus. The school's shuttle comes just in time. So Tafu, do you know who will be teaching in our class today? Nope, but the schedule says that it will be Mr. Rexford. I'm excited to meet him. We arrive at our class, wondering what kind of teacher this Rexford was. The last thing that I'd want to have is an uninteresting teacher with an uninteresting subject. We take our seats next to each other. Well, looks like the fresh meat and I are going to be stuck together this semester. Oh no, not you. He lets out a little sinister chuckle from under his breath, and his hands rest on my shoulders, his grip tightening. Don't think that I haven't forgotten about our little quarrel from last night. I suggest you lay your hands off of him and take your seat, son. A booming, familiar voice echoes in the room, and all of our heads race to the front of the class. Vince quickly lets go and recedes to the back of the class. Welcome, everyone. My name is Professor Rexford, but please, call me Professor Tyson. And welcome to Psych 101, where I'll enjoy looking into each and every one of your minds. Chapter 2, Getting Used to This Hell. Actually, I think that's where I'm going to leave it, so... yeah. There's currently 4 chapters, I think, so I'll probably do, like, a video per chapter. I think they're about the same length, so yeah. So, what are your thoughts so far on the story? And look, 3 guys. I think as you keep meeting people, they keep appearing on here. So again, what are your thoughts on the cast so far? On the Don, Vince, and the Gigantosaurus, I think? Or no, it's Giganta something. He's a Rex, but he's a tall one, I guess. Anyways, so what are your thoughts? Do you like the Sabertooth? Do you like the Megalodon? The Bully Raptor? Or maybe the teacher? I think there's a wolf, and there's like another character, I think, but they don't appear until way later, so yeah. So far these are the characters that you'll be dealing with right now. So although it does have a simplistic art style, I do like it, because it's silly, and you know, it has dinosaurs as a raptor. And a fun fact, the raptors that you see in the movies for Jurassic Park and Jurassic World are not supposed to be that size. They're actually like the size of like a turkey, like a real world turkey. They're about like that size. And I think the only raptor that was like 6 feet tall was the Utah raptor, which is my dino Sona. And I think below that was the Pyroraptor, which you'll probably see in the new Jurassic World movie. But anyways, so yeah. So what are your thoughts so far? I think the only raptor that was like 6 feet tall was the Utah raptor, which is my dino Sona. And I think below that was the Pyroraptor, which you'll probably see in the new Jurassic World movie. But anyways, so yeah. So what are your thoughts so far? I think the only raptor that was like 6 feet tall was the Utah raptor, which is my dino Sona. And I think below that was the Pyroraptor, which you'll probably see in the new Jurassic World movie. But anyways, so yeah. So what are your thoughts so far? I Obviously, this was another like dating simulator game, and like I said, that's not usually my favorite story. I prefer story over himbos. But yeah, I'm obviously gonna read it. And there is another dating simulator type story that somebody recommended to me incessantly called Sileo. I think it's pronounced Sileo. I am on the fence about reading it because a lot of the characters I found very unpleasant. I think only 2 characters I actually liked, but the rest, like, ugh. And one of the other characters that I did not like was a tiger, so that's saying a lot, okay? But so far this story, I like the saber-tooth. Obviously, I have a thing for large cats, but I also kind of like the wolf that's gonna show up, so, you know, you have that to look forward to. And I'm pretty sure it's not because they speak Spanish and, you know, they're Hispanically coded. I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with that. So yeah. Anywho, so write down what your thoughts were down in the comments. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Prehistoric Relations yourself and see what the story has, you know, to offer, you can find it over on itch, and I will post a link down for the creator's Twitter if they do have one, and any, you know, Patreon if they have one, or a Ko-fi if they have one. And on the subject of that, I found out that the In Case of Emergency people, or the dev team, or the person, doesn't have a Patreon, so that kind of sucks. So if they had a Ko-fi, hint, 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 you know, I post a link for that too. But yeah, if the development team behind Prehistoric Relations has a Patreon, I will post a link for that. And I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.